Hey everyone, welcome back to the next episode of the Planet Coaster series. I still have no idea what I'm going to call it. Absolutely no idea whatever. There wasn't much of an intro on this one because the original plan for it was to carry on as part of the previous episode, but because it turned out to be like 20 minutes already, I thought I'll just add it on to the next one and we'll do it that way instead. And I still haven't gone back and done those trees. That'll haunt me later, what I just did there. What I should have done was rotate the wall. You'll find out why later. Yeah, so most of this episode what we'll be doing is, or what I'll be doing rather, is building what you're seeing now. I also build like a little gatehouse, I think. Yeah, I'll build a little gatehouse and then I'll copy it and move it around. I do put a roller coaster in on the roof, but I couldn't quite get it to work properly, so I sort of gave up with it. And then I put a couple more rides in and just do a little bit more building. So still no roller coasters. Next episode, hopefully next episode, or once it's all complete. Because what I was going to do, I was going to finish the inside of it, and then have the roller coaster go around everything. So I really want to try and find a way to get it inside. What's on that level there? I've just figured it out. There's nothing. So the roller coaster, when I put the roller coaster in, I'll put it on the top level floor. If I put it in the middle level floor and then have it leave and go up and then down, that might work a bit better. Okay, yeah, we just sussed it. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm still having trouble with the path systems. I was just trying to get it neat and tidy at this point. Oh, wow, that looks completely different to what it looks like now. Completely different. And there's some wasted space inside them, actually. I still need to put some sort of vending place inside. Or maybe I could put... Oh! No, because if I put a roller coaster inside one of them, I'd have to find a way. No, that wouldn't work. Yeah, okay, my idea... Yeah, I'm thinking of ideas as I'm watching the playback of the video, as you might be able to tell. I'm just sort of thinking, because I really want to put a roller coaster in now. I want to build a roller coaster. I might go back and just build one now. I'm feeling a bit burnt out with with just the building of scenery. I'm getting bored of it. I want to build a roller coaster. So I'm going to go do that. Yeah, I'll do that next. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work quite well. But yeah, I might also start playing some other games. I've been watching other YouTubers. Well, I say other YouTubers. I've been watching actual YouTubers. They playing like games like Totally Accurate Battle Simulator and what the other one's called? Ravenfield? That's quite good, actually. I found there's a little slow-mo button, so I keep cheating and just playing the whole thing in slow-mo. Maybe what I should do is play a game in slow-mo and then speed it up to 500% to make it look like I'm actually playing the game properly. But that would be cheating. Yeah. Never mind. And then there was another one that I just found that I just watched as well. Medieval Warcraft? No, Warfare something, Ancient Warfare 2, that was it. Something like that. That's quite it's different. I'm even worse at that, but they're all quite similar. They're quite cool. I might also start playing a bit of Grand Theft Auto. I quite miss that. Or No Man's Sky. I don't know. But then I've tried it. And trying to find something to talk about whilst playing, it's really difficult. I don't seem to be able to do it yet. It's like trying to talk and then I'll just stop and go like this. Yeah, and I'm playing a game. Where at least with this, I can sort of concentrate on one thing and not several different things. I find it a little bit easier. So I do like the flags. Now that I've figured out where they are, I really do like using the flags everywhere and anywhere. I find it a lot easier, as you do. I'm getting a little bit stuck. I think I've tried to make the area too big. Because I'm getting stuck as to what to use to keep it all sort of in the same theme. Because I don't really want to be putting lots of greenery stuff inside the castle wall. So towards the end of the video, I started building I started building wooden houses, and they're kind of what I want. Not quite exactly what I was after, but they're kind of roughly right. I'm happier with the general outskirts of the walls, though. I think that maybe I should have gone out a bit more, or in a bit more, or sort of, so that they're not just flat edges. And I figured out that I could make stuff like this. So I did. This was where I put the gargoyles in on the entrance. So I was looking through here, going, "Oh, what do I like? Oh, I know where I can put them there." So I put one of each in, as you're about to see. Like, yeah, you know, why not? And then I was looking for a cannon, but I didn't want the cannon that fires all the time. I just wanted a cannon, but couldn't find one I was happy with, so never mind. Maybe I should try and make one. No idea how I'm going to do that, but and it was the cannons were a bit too low as well. Anyway, I would have had to have made a platform for it. Oh, see, that could be quite good if I made a platform for it. That, yeah, somehow. Again with the barrels, I put in an archery range. I'm not sure why. I think I was just trying to fill the space in. I'm not sure what I think of it. The reason that the nighttime, daytime just changed completely just then is because I stopped recording again, and so this is I record what you're seeing now. I recorded today, whereas what you saw a minute ago, I think I recorded the day before yesterday. So it's like quite cool how that works. I've never really thought about it before, and now I'm just messing around looking to see what's around. I was going to put some dynamite in, but I looked at the box and it's like, no, it just doesn't look right. So I put some more barrels in. This is the sort of look that I was going for on the top of the on top of the two towers that I made as part of the original entrance section. So then it was just a case of copying it and putting it where I want. This bit, I ended up messing around with this bit here quite a bit because the path didn't line up very well with the with what I was trying to put in. So yeah, you'll get to see me struggling with it in a minute. Oh, I still need to do the path on that side as well then. Right, okay. Yeah, the path was it's nowhere near lining up. It's like, right, okay, I'd best mess around with that then. So I decided to make it one wide because I thought that would make it a little bit easier, a bit better to look at. So yeah, like that. The amount of time this took me to do, looking at it now, it'd be done in 10 minutes. It took me about an hour and a half, I think, is the total length of the recording before being sped up. About an hour and a half. Again, it's not that long. It's not that short. Obviously, it's only a 20-minute episode now. What, 20, 25, mate? No, not even that. 22, 23 minutes. It's not stupidly long again, which is a good start. I could put. Okay, I've just worked out where to put some stuff. Yeah, you'll get to see that in the next episode as well. Again, I wasn't quite. It was just that little bit too. And then I noticed that the door that was all out of line. So I messed around with that for a little bit. But the path just isn't quite right. I think what it is it's because I haven't lined. I was watching some other people earlier, and they've sort of lined the grid of the path up to the grid of the building, and that would have been the best idea, because then if I'd have done that, I'd have been laughing, but I didn't do that, so yep. Listen then. So as I was saying, I did try to put the roller coaster in, but I think if I'd put I remember why I wasn't putting on the level below, because there was nowhere for it to. The main problem with it was that I couldn't figure out how to get the path on the outside correct without having to raise and lower the entire building again. I didn't want to have to be doing that again. You see what I mean? It's just not right. It's just too high. Because the other idea I was going to have was it was going to be a spiral staircase downwards somehow. I'm not sure how that would. See, that would have been quite cool. I need to do that anyway. Yeah, I need to make a spiral staircase for there. That would be quite cool. Or I could put it on the roof. No, I don't like that idea. Yeah, no, I don't like that idea at all. There's got to be a way. I'm just thinking now, how could I make it? So the reason I was using that was because it was a kids' ride as well. The idea was this was going to be like the child-friendly section, and then I was going to build something else later on somewhere outside. So I started putting some rides in. I wasn't really sure what rides to put in, so I was just sort of looking around, sort of thinking, oh, well, if you were a kid, what would you want to ride? And then the path was giving me some more trouble again here, so I sort of did it that way. I was quite chuffed with this. I managed to get the other side spot on first try as well. I was looking for a ride that was a similar sort of size to try and make it a little bit easier, and then I found the Ferris wheel. So I thought, yeah, that'll work quite well. And as you can see, again, having trouble with the path system, so I did it the wrong way, then deleted the path, then, yeah, it looks a bit complicated, but it was quite easy in the end. And then you just see this massive influx of people just arrive. And they all started complaining that the queues are too short. So I might adjust that. I'm sort of thinking that once I've put a roller coaster in, or two, the queues for the shitty rides like that might go down. I'm hoping. See the roller coaster. That'd be quite cool if I could get the coasters. So I built a little blacksmith's here. I remember that because you can see the anvil. I wasn't sure how it was going to end up. It was a bit of a guesswork. I think it turned out all right, to be honest. I'm quite happy with it. I not so keen on the roof, on that corner of the roof where the two roofs meet. I think I should have figured that out a little bit better, and perhaps the roof that is covering the working area, what becomes the working area in a minute. I should have done something different with that, I think. But yeah, just look at the people. Oh dear, just bad. Seems mad to me, but whatever. Yeah, so trying to adjust that all up. So again, it's so there's the blacksmith sort of area. I wasn't sure what sort of door to use that would make it look how I wanted it. So again, I didn't use a lot of trial and error for this. I sort of found one when that kind of works. And then I found the windows. Like, oh well, I've got to put them everywhere. And I couldn't find a chimney. I was looking for a chimney to begin with, and I just couldn't find one. So I thought, oh, okay, I'll make one. And then I figured, I can use this and just get a bit of smoke and put it out the top. And then later on, same episode in this episode, I actually find the chimneys. So that's pretty much the blacksmith's done. I put in a little fireplace for him to work with, or to sort of be shown working with. And then I did the mistake again of so I was originally going to use a bench, but it wouldn't let me place it outside of a path. So I did the same old mistake of not building this as part of a building. So I realised I'd already realised by this point when I tried to duplicate it all in a minute. That's when I realised I'd done it. So it's here. This is where I'm trying to duplicate it. I was like, oh, I've done that wrong. So I go and build another one, but I do it properly this time. Hey, thank goodness for that. So now there's somewhere for the poor fella to sit as he just somewhere to sit, basically. They were complaining about long queue time and thought, I better put a mechanic in actually. I haven't actually got one of them. So then I sort of thought, I want to dull up the terrain a little bit. So I was sort of thinking, how can I make it a little bit nicer, a little bit neater? There's no sort of animatronic people. It'd be quite cool if we had some people that were like just sat down eating something with a hammer, or just sort of like horses. It'd be good if we had horses as well. I think that's something that should be added. So at this point I sort of thought, well, I want to keep building wooden stuff. I just figured out how I could have fixed that now. I wanted to continue building wooden stuff, but I wasn't sure what to do. So I thought, I'll just build a house, or a block of houses to sort of, because that's how they used to live, isn't it? Inside the castle, in houses and stuff. And then eventually I ended up putting another ride in as well, which wasn't expected. It's a shame that didn't work. I think what I could have done was just move the whole thing down a little bit, but then I'm not sure why I didn't do that actually. So instead, I just put. I think I've already done it. Yeah, I've already done it. Yeah. So I put the two together like that instead. So yeah, I find it quite difficult. I love this game to bits, but trying to figure out how to get what I want to show what I want it to show. Like, I don't know. I never know which pieces to use, if that makes sense. I just find it really difficult. Testing that point then, I wasn't sure if clicking and highlighting the whole thing would also highlight parts of the wall, but fortunately it didn't. So this bit took a little bit of getting used to as well. I was looking at it at this point, thinking, no, it doesn't look right. And then I found these poles. I thought, oh no, I can separate it all out with the poles, and it'll make it look like it's actually separate parts of the same building. And then I was looking at it, thinking, no, it doesn't look right. So I put the poles along the top as well to try and make that look a little bit better. And then I figured I should add a little bit of greenery here at the back, somewhere to sort of, I don't know really, something else to do. Zoomed out, had a look around, see what I thought. Found these. I still need to put all the lights in for everywhere. Again, that's when I found then I found the chimneys, and looking at it, thinking, nah, I'll just leave it. I did think about putting the ivy and stuff on, but it doesn't show how long it was there for. I put it there, looked at it, and was like, oh no, I'll give that a miss. Again, just looking around, having a look at the screen, see what I thought of everything. I was going to put some bunting in, but didn't. No, I just didn't see anywhere that I thought it would be good. I saw that, and I had no idea for that. I had you just saw the oil rig thing. I saw it and thought, okay, I've got an idea to use that later. And I was looking. So the reason why I just put, well, not just put it. It was a little while ago now. So the reason I put the guards on duty was I was looking at it thinking, no, it looks more Western style now, and I don't. It's not supposed to be that. It's supposed to be inside a castle. So I thought, I know, guards. Just give it guards and see what it looks like. I think there's a bit too many of them now, but considering that you haven't seen it yet, but I put in, I do give it some. What do I give it some of? I give it some of the. I put in some of the. Another ride the next ride that I do, the walkway ends up going through that little street where I've just put the terrain. I did build a path through there first, and then I thought, oh well, no one's going to come through here, which is why I put. Here, look, you'll see it now. You look and go, oh, that's a perfect spot to put a That's a perfect spot to put a ride. Looking. Oh, look, another spinny thing. I'll put that in. So then go back, delete all of the delete all of the path that I've just put in, and do it again. Basically, all the way around there, through there, like that. So I was looking at this point, thinking, oh, that area next to it, that area there is just too big. Next to the area that was next to that spinning ride, it's just big. So I thought, oh no, I'll put a stable in there, which I'll be getting to in a couple of moments from the looks of it. Where is it? Here you go. So just about to start building a stable. I can't find any horses. I wish I could have horses. It'd make it so much better, because it'd be then quite clearly a stable. There was a point where it looked like it was going to end up being a place that sells food. I'm pretty sure it did end up a stable. I'm positive it ended up a stable. I was going to originally do it like that, but then I noticed later on that it didn't quite line up right, so I deleted it. So the original reason I put the those walls with the holes in was I was thinking, oh, like the horse could stick its head through it, but no, scrap that idea. Didn't like it in the end. Again, looking at the chimneys, so have a look around, see what I thought. Then I found these. I got it all, so I was happy with it, and then I noticed it was concrete. It was the iron. So it was like, oh, get rid of all of that. But I know how I did it now. So I tried a couple of different types of roofs, see what I thought. Again, everything that I'm doing here is all very much place it and see what I think. Just to see really. How did I do this bit in the end? Ooh. Yeah. Ah, that's what I did. Yeah, and then I put a pole in the middle of it. I was originally going to use that one, just didn't like that. It didn't look right, so I put this one in instead. Accidentally put the second one, put 2 down for some reason, so I deleted one of them. And then same again, just try and dull it up a little bit at the top. And I was looking at it thinking, no, and that's what I did, yeah. And then looking at it, no, I don't like it. Got to change it. Got to change that. So I put the put those in to try and show that it is supposed to be for horses. Getting ready to put some lights in, put a little chimney in, realised that it wasn't quite sat right, and stuff like that. Put all that in there like that, and then zoom out, have another look around. What I did quickly here, I just finished off the walls. Originally I was going to put like a big round sort of section on the edges, but I decided against it. I think it's because I need to start on, I might start on a different area in the moment later on, just to have something else. This is what I was saying earlier about how I should have rotated that wall. I'm not sure if you just saw it, but it's not quite aligned right. I was like, oh no. So I thought I was going to have to go through the whole thing. And I thought, oh no, what if I just rotate it? And it worked. So, right, okay, I gotcha. So zoomed out in a minute. Selected the whole thing, rotated it, realised I hadn't done it right, let go, did it all again. So yeah. But anyway, we are approaching the end of this episode finally, so you haven't got to listen to my god-awful voice anymore. I'm just doing the finishing touches now. See you later, see you next episode, hope you enjoyed.